Instagram. Periscope is not being nice to me this morning. And also later on today, good morning or afternoon, YouTube. I want to get right into our topic for today. At the end of 2018, I started a series called Being Dynamically Different. And what I did there was I came up with 12 rules, if you will, that we need to implement in 2019 for us to have truly a different year. And in the time that I have, I want to share some of those with you today. So the first rule that I'm going to get into is this. Have inventory on you at all times. Whether you have a service-based business, a product-based business, if you're just starting out, if you're networking while you build, it's important to have inventory on you, and not necessarily just products, but your identity collateral as well. No business cards, flyers, and things like that. And I'm going to tell you why. I participated in an event back in December, and I just got this feeling of anxiety because I felt like the women at this event were not going to trust me enough to place an order with me. Usually, when I do events, I only have my display books out and maybe one or two in stock. But on this particular day, I was very, very anxious, which is not normal for me. I was very stressed out, and it ended up turning around in the sense that not only did people order from me, I ended up doubling my investment in this particular event. However, I said to myself, I need to get rid of this feeling. And so usually I tell people, not to have a whole lot of inventory on you. I still say that. However, my thing is this: have something on you, because you never know who you are going to run into. You never know who you're going to meet. Second one I want to get into today is this. Let's stand our ground and tell people this. No more pick my brain lunch sessions. Hourly consulting rates will apply, no exceptions. And you're like, well, Tammy, that doesn't sound very professional. Yeah, it does. And I will tell you why. It's because you will give more of what people pay for away sitting at the lunch table over a $20 meal than you will if you make them book a paid consultation with you. You will sit there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes longer, and they're walking away with a notebook full of notes, full of your ideas, and you get in the car and wonder, what in the heck did I just do? You pretty much gave them the entire farm, even though they might have fed you. So when somebody says, let's have lunch and see what we can do, be limited in how much you share, because what you don't want to do is to give so much away that you lose money. It happens. Third rule I want to get into is set boundaries. Now, this particular post is written a little bit different than the way that I'm saying it, but set boundaries. Let people know that they need to get their information from the source, either you, your spouse, or another designated person if there is one. And I say that because the people that others may know may not know what's going on at all, or they may give out erroneous information. I know that I personally have told people something completely different than what they heard from somebody else, simply to let them know that you need to come to me for information about certain things. And I wrote about this in my book, Personal Perspective Project. There may be a reason why the person that you're going to doesn't know what's going on. And if they're known to be a gossiper, if they're known to be a mess starter, if they are known to be a busybody, people aren't going to tell them anything. So by the time you get to the source to find out what it is that you want to know, they're going to tell you something completely different than the person that you went and asked, or they're going to tell you something about the situation that that person did not know. And then you're upset because you didn't get your information from the source. That's something to think about. Rule number 4. One question that we have to work to stop people from asking us is this: when do you have time to work on your own stuff? We all want to help people, be it friends, family, loved ones, church members, our jobs, everything. However, we each have our own visions that need to be built. And when you are blowing and going, sharing other people's stuff, posting other people's stuff, attending other people's stuff, to where somebody sits you down and they say, hey, you're doing so much for so many other people. When was the last time you sat down and worked on your own stuff? And you're going to have two reactions to that question. One, you're going to laugh. Two, you're going to get mad. Because when you allow yourself to think about the magnitude of that question, you're going to be upset because you held on to or sat on your dreams, your visions, your goals for so long simply because something else needed to be achieved for somebody else, and you felt like you had to help them. So I'm not saying that you can't help people, but what I'm saying is don't do it at the expense of your own vision, because there are things that you are meant to do, things that are meant to happen, things that you are meant to take care of that you have to give an account for. And you definitely don't want to be scrambling to get them done at the last minute, because it's not going to be filled with the power and with the impact that it needs to have. Rule number 5, let that inner kid come out swinging. Excuse me. Everybody has that inner little kid. And with that inner little kid, that's where our dreams, goals, and visions reside. However, we get so caught up sometimes in being a grown up that we ignore that inner little kid and what they want to do and what we promised them that we would get done. So it's time for us to say, you know what? I've got to build that inner kid up and let them go. It's okay to grow up. However, we've got to remember that little person on the inside. Rule number 6, I might actually get all 12 of these in. I'm excited about that. Rule number 6, stop worrying about where you're not being used and focus on where you can be used and where you will be. The Bible says that Jesus went to his own and they didn't receive him, and that a prophet has no honor in his own country. What you have to understand is, in order to build the life, the business and the ministry that you have to look beyond your current location and beyond the 4 walls that surround you. I made a post last year talking about how upset I was that all of the opportunities that I had for 2017 and 2018 and even for 2019 were all outside of Memphis. And one of my mentors told me, she said, Tammy, you can't worry about that, sweetheart. She said, go to Destin, go to Miami, go to New Albany, go wherever people are inviting you to go and let them see you, those at home see you still going on no matter what. And yes, they're going to hit you with that, why couldn't you do that here? And 10 times out of 10, they're not going to like the answer to that question, because it's going to force them to come to grips with the fact that they held you back. They silenced you in some way, shape, or form. So you can't be focused on, excuse me, who doesn't call you, who doesn't have you, who picks over you, who doesn't buy from you. You can't be focused on that. And that takes us right into rule number 7. And this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but another rule that we need to adopt, rule number 7, and this goes against every popular opinion out there. Stop being numbers focused. And I know you're probably looking like, wait, what? Seriously, whether you have 1 or 101 supporting you, attending your events, looking at your Facebook posts, commenting on your Facebook posts, go on, keep going. Give whoever is there all that you got. They are there for a reason, and it's not for you to lament and complain and talk about who's not there. You have to get to the point to where you go on anyhow. There's a meme going around social media right now that says, don't cancel your business or your event because people you know don't support you. Truer words have never been spoken. What we have to understand is that the people who are meant to be in the room, the people who are that we are meant to serve, they're going to show up. Give them everything that they came for. Which kind of takes us into rule number 8. And I know some of you guys may not understand. You may not have heard something like this presented before, and that's precisely my point. What I am aiming to do by sharing these rules, checking my time here, is to help you to shift your mindset from the fluff and the status quo that's constantly thrown at you with people saying the same stuff. Rule number 8. Teach and show people how to treat you by not making their procrastination your emergency. I've said this before and I will say it again. People have deadlines on stuff for a reason. You can't get mad at them because they said ticket sales in February 15th at 9 a.m. and it's February 15th, it's 12:45. You just now jumping on to buy your ticket and it's either sold out or ticket sales are closed. You can't get mad at them. That's your fault. You can't come to them and say, you know what? I know you said this and I know that I said I was going to do that. But, this, that, and a third happened. Please, please help me do this. I've got to have this done by such a day at such time. You can't get mad if that person doesn't relent or if they're not free to do what you need them to do. Your procrastination is not their emergency. Your procrastination is a personal problem. You can't come to them with, you can't let me in, or you ain't got no space for me. You don't have no time for me at all. You can't come to them with that because you procrastinated. Which takes me into rule number 9. Only work with those who show respect for, excuse me, I'm still getting over yucky stuff caught from my kids. But only work with those who show respect for and match your time and effort. I was telling somebody not too long ago, I expect what I ask for from you to be given to me in the same time frame and the same effort from which I served you. So if you asked me to do something that took an hour to do and I gave you my best work, I expect the same in return. And also know that you can't ask me for any and everything at all times of the day and night. Just because we may be working together on a given project, or we may be bartering or trading services and things back and forth, what we're not going to do is give a half-hearted effort. I'm not going to do you that way. I don't expect for you to do me that way. And if I see that you are, then that lets me know that you're not somebody that I need to work with in the future. Rule number 10, and I'm going to have to go quickly. I tell people all the time that every coach, mentor, and business person out here is not price gouging y'all. They're not. They are taking, excuse me, their life experiences and what they have built and sharing it with you. So if the price to work with somebody scares you, find another option. Don't try to haggle with them over their prices. If they've got a Facebook group, join the group. If they wrote a book, buy the book. If they have a mastermind, join the mastermind. If they offer online courses, get the online courses. Stop expecting entrepreneurs to go back and forth with you because you don't want to pay for something. And I tell people all the time, there is a huge difference between not being able to afford something and not wanting to pay for it. Which gets me into rule number 11. And that is that we will no longer hold space for people who are not ready to move. If you come at me or anybody else that's about business and you come to them with a bunch of the excuses, they are going to tell you to exit stage left. They don't have time. Don't have time for they don't have time for excuses. I was just talking with one of my mentors the other day. I almost shut down my Every Woman is a Businesswoman boot camp because I was spending time preparing, the post and everything for that particular group, and I was getting crickets. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to hear the excuses because I posted while I was sick. I had my daughter posting while I was sick. I sustained a steam burn to my eye, and I was still going live with my eye partially covered. So I was not there for anybody's excuses as to why they couldn't interact if I was still posting. Let me get number 12 in, and then I've got to run. Number 12, do not call people asking for free help with something that you are paying to get done. If the person that you are paying is not doing what you need them to do, and you come to somebody else who knows how to do it, you need to be paying them whatever you were paying the person who's not getting the work done. Don't call somebody talking about, I need your help with something. I'm paying to have this done, but this person is not doing what I'm asking them to do. If you are not prepared to pay that person the same amount that you are the person that you are complaining about, you are wasting that person's time. And don't be offended or taken aback when they tell you, well, you're going to have to pay me too. I'm going to cut it off right there. This has been the first Virtuous Businesswoman Motivational Broadcast of 2019. I see a lot of people jumping on right now. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to catch the replay. This is Tammy Polk, your host. And as always, thank you so much to my dear angel, Caleb Hadgett. Thank you for everything, all of your support through everything that we've gone through. Nicole, not going to forget about you, the woman who lovingly bullied me into having this radio show in the first place. But until next time, God bless, Godspeed in all that you do. Keep charging. And those that are commenting on Facebook and Instagram, I'm about to get to you now. Good day, everybody. Have a great one.